Carl, welcome to this week's edition of In the Dugout. We'll start off by talking about the third round Challenge Cup draw. Myton Warriors at home for the second year in a row. What do you make to that?
Good, fantastic club. We're all real happy that we drew them, and you know they're happy to come to the Keepmoat. So we're really happy to host Myton. Looking forward to it. The players were very professional last year. And just played rugby, and that's all you want. And they both clubs get on really well, so we're delighted to have Myton.
And I suppose it's a good draw for both clubs, really, for Myton to pit their wits against a league club in the Dons, and a chance for the Dons to get through to the next round. Well, last season they were a real young side, so you know I think they all just enjoyed the experience, and it'll be it's always tough. You know, the first round is. All of the community clubs are going for the big upsets, and you know some of them get them. So we need to not underestimate them. But you know one thing I will keep reverting back to is we'll welcome them here because they're a fantastic club. There's plenty of Don stories in the free press this week. What have you made to all that? It's good coverage, and how important is that we keep that sort of local news feed dripping out among the area?
I think it's probably the best coverage we've had for for the start of the seasons, and that's over the last 10 years. You know, I think we've got about 6 pages in there, which, you know, fair play to the free press. We've been banging on at them. You know, we have got a season starting up, and they must have they surprised us nicely. It was a nice little pleasant surprise to pick the free press up and actually see a good-looking fella on the back of it.
Yeah, there's a few different angles in there as well, isn't there? There's your piece, Pete Green's got his column in there as well, so a few different bits for the Dons fans to have.
And the ticket offer from the club and everything, great. But a little bit there for Richard and the team, and you know, like you say, Pete Green having the talk in there, and me talking a little bit about the club and where we hope we're heading. No, very appreciative and very humble of the free press to do that.
The World Club Challenge takes place this weekend. Leeds face Melbourne, Wigan South Sydney, and Hull face St George as well. It's a good challenge for the Super League clubs.
Wigan and Hull. Let's just do it.
Let's just do it. Leave that in the past.
There's been some shots fired this week from somebody behind the camera you don't see the minute the game finished. As you all aware, he went for Wigan last week. I went for Hull because he's a pie eater.
By nickname,
and lovely text messages straight after the game. Beautiful. So we get that out of the way quickly. Just to let you all know, Robbie's a Wigan man. I've said it time and time again. But I thought they played really well. To be fair to them, I thought they looked good. So we'll see. But this week, Melbourne and the big one, Melbourne against Leeds, is going to be tough. I think for Leeds, they've got some injuries, and Leeds are on hiding to nothing. So that's probably when they're at their best. As you've seen in the final last year when everyone was back in Castleford. When Leeds are the underdogs, they seem to find something, but to go to Australia and play Melbourne, it'd be a big ask, I think. I'll probably tip Melbourne maybe 14, 16 points maybe. Who knows?
And given the increase in the salary cap in the NRL, do you just see that gap getting bigger and bigger between the Australian and English teams?
Oh, yeah, eventually. But, you know, I'm not sure how many games Melbourne have played. Leeds have had couple of competitive first team games, so they might be up to speed. I think we all seen Brian Mack speaking about he's just got dropped on him as 2 referees. Now, people may think that doesn't make any difference, but it will, because of the speed of the play, the balls and stuff like that, where if there's one ref, you've just got that little bit extra, and Leeds won't be used to a referee right there on them at the play the ball. That's where, hopefully we don't see too many penalties.
Yeah, you've got to manage your offsides, and when you set off from the player balls, I mean, like you said, if there's a referee banging line with the defence as well, you're going to have to be right on the game.
Yeah, that's well, we're not used to it. We aren't used to it, and
you know, if it turns into a penalty-a-thon, it could ruin the game. But so hopefully it doesn't come to that, and the two teams just go at each other and hammer and tong, and we all see a great game.
Back onto the Dons then, we talked about the offers in the free press this week. It's a big family day out at the Keepmoat Stadium this weekend. In the family stand, all the kids able to come. So many different things happening this week, and a chance in the free press to get your families to get their vouchers and come down to the game. Yeah,
to be fair, I don't think the team here can do any more. We've really had a big knock at it and getting the crowds up, and I've just said to Gav there, he said, "Are you happy?" And I said, the team can't do any more. We've done everything we can in our power to try and get the crowd on Sunday, and I'm just really hoping that we get a turnout. If we get a turnout and put a performance on, then that'll set the tone for the year, and I'm sure we'll be flying. So if we can get everyone down and get everyone happy and enjoying it and having fun, and then watching the game and the boys do their thing, we could be in for a cracking year. That's what we're hoping for. And with regarding League One, I think it'll be the toughest League One in the comp, for some time. There's probably, I'm not going to name them because you always leave someone out and they use that up to fire up on you when you play them, but I would say there's 6 or 7 teams off the bat who could potentially go up. So those teams know who they are, or who we all think we know who they are. Like I say, not worth naming them because when you do things like that, you do leave them out. But it's going to be a hell of a season. I said it last year, but it just seems getting tougher and tougher every year. And like, I think the reason for that is without the 23s and the younger grades in the Super League, what happens is they the game's losing players. So the League One is starting to get some more high-profile, experienced players. Do you know what I mean? So it's tough, and it makes the league tough. And you don't. When this League One first started off, they were all young fellas and they were finding their way in the game. But if you look at our club, people like Ryan Boyle and Richie Owen and them played hundreds of Super League games, and that's the calibre of player that's all through the league. Benny Cockayne at York, and the list is endless. You can go on and on and on, and all the boys who signed at Workington, all experience hard pros, you know what I mean, and they know how to win games and play games. It's just, so the big games will be real good, but it's going to be a hell of a season, and I think you've got to have a bit of luck with injuries and stuff like that.
Coventry Bears up first for us again. Then it's similar to last year, Mighton in the Challenge Cup. Coventry up first. What sort of tests are you expecting from them?
Oh, listen, they've gone quietly about their business. They've played Leeds. We were lucky to have Rob as our guest speaker, and he filled us in a little bit about them. Said they really went for it for 25-30 minutes, and I think that'll be the same in every game. It's certainly in this division, for 30 minutes you're in a battle, and then after that the top sides seem to pull away. So it's first game of the season. They've been training their butts off all summer. We've been doing the same. They'll be wanting to get out there and just go for it. Players will be all relieved that the hard pre-season's over and the games are here. So it'll be a tough one, but we're at home. Now this year the way the structure and the format is everyone says if you can win your home games and pick up some good wins away, you give yourself a chance. So we can't afford to be dropping games early doors at home.
And speaking to Rich as well, I think everyone knows that you're not going to be at full tilt on the first game. So is it about just getting the basics right and building up to when you eventually do get into a run of form where you can pick up points week in, week out?
Yeah, that's up to Rich. I'll just talk about what I think and what we've done. And I think in the pre-season friendlies, I think we've really stood up and been counted for and played some top quality championship clubs who are tough. So with regards to our club, that Richard and Pete and Reese and the boys and Pete Bell, they all know what they're doing. That's their job. They'll make sure that when the players need a rest or when they need to get into them in training. So up to now the players are certainly, I think everyone will agree, they certainly look very fit. So I always believe if they're fit, then you give yourself half a chance of winning games. That's a fundamental, and if you can be fitter than the opposition, you're a chance.
And sponsors for this weekend's game?
Yeah, the King, especially with it being for Don. Stuart Piper, fantastic club man, club president. Someone go and buy a car from over the weekend and just say that you've done it just because you've heard that Carl said you're sponsoring the game, and just let Stuart know that that's the reason you're buying the car, and he might sponsor the game next week as well if you do that. Thank you very much.